These are my actual pictures of my stomach and that those are the places that A, B, C, and D were taken in. C is the very start of my intestines. Once again, and so far, let me see if I can. Gastritis. So, yes, so far, he's detected gastritis, which is inflammation in the stomach. That can be minor, that can be serious. He also decided, after looking at my stomach, decided that it was necessary to take a biopsy, which is where they cut a small piece of the stomach lining out and bring it up through my mouth so that they can test it in a lab and see if there's anything else that they can detect through a lab, such as bacterial, viral, or cancer. But nothing is bleeding, at least as far as upper GI goes. We don't know for sure about intestines, but we kind of do, because my other test came back. I don't have the paper with me, it's in the other room. The blood in the stool was not detected. Technically, that doesn't mean there isn't. It just wasn't detected in the test that I took. So it most likely isn't, because I have never had black stool ever. So I think that that's a sign that I don't have blood in the stool yet. However, my second test came back positive, and in this case, positive is bad, for Calprotectin. I believe that's what it was called. A normal person's stool has less than 50. 50 something per something. Mine is 121, which is 2.5 times the amount it should be. Now, that means we're getting somewhere. I think they're related. I think something is wrong in my intestines, and it's pushing it up into my stomach. I don't think anything's wrong specifically with my stomach. I think it's the intestines, and it's pushing it up into my stomach, which would also be why I burp a lot more than a normal person, and would also explain my sides hurting and always feeling like there's something there, like there's stuck pieces of shit everywhere on both sides of me. Even though I poop every day, so I don't know what it is. It still could be. That can happen to anybody. Even if you poop every single day, you've never had constipation problems, whatever, you can still, for whatever reason, have hard pieces of stool that just get stuck in the sides of your intestines, and eventually more and more start building up, and it can cause problems. And I think that could be a something that I'm dealing with. I think that would make sense. That would explain why it always feels like there's something here in both of my sides. right around the belly button level, which would make sense. That's where the intestines are and all of that, and it would make sense. It would explain the calprotectin being 2.5 times the level. It would explain why my stomach has inflammation, but nothing more. As well, I mean, technically, we don't know until the biopsy comes, but it would explain why I do not have any blood being detected in my stool. And it would also explain why he did not see an ulcer in my stomach. It's very possible I had one and it healed over and he just missed scar tissue, because sometimes it's easy to miss if it healed correctly. Or one other guess or educated guess that I have, is something called H. pylori. Eventually, a decent amount of Americans get it in their life, and it is a type of bacteria that you can get and spread person to person. And it is a digestive system destroyer. It will cause a lot of belching. It will cause a lot of pressure in your chest. It will cause every single symptom that I have had since this started years ago, went away and then came back this year. I fit every single symptom. I watched a YouTube video of a woman who just got over it not that long ago, and she had the same symptoms, including the fear of having a heart attack, always having the pressure here because it feels like you're about to have a heart attack or something because it's so much pressure in the chest and all that stuff. She had everything that I have. So it could very well be H. pylori. It might not, but it could very well. The only thing that she didn't have, at least as far as what she said, is the feeling in the sides. I think even if I have H. pylori, it might actually be a separate thing if it is H. pylori, or something H. pylori caused that now has to be dealt with separately. You know what I mean? Like, even if I got rid of the H. pylori, if I did have it, I think I would still have the side problems, and that would still have to be dealt with separately. Like, I mean, like, it can get so bad that it almost feels like my intestines are twisted. I don't think they are, or else I would have already had more serious complications by now. Leaving it unattended for months like that would eventually have more complications. Especially with me being able to poop every day or every other day or whatever. Yeah, somebody with twisted intestines can, but eventually it starts becoming a bigger problem. So far, mine is a problem, but it hasn't become much of a progressing problem, except for more frequent pain every so often, then it goes away, then more frequent pain for another week, and I don't know, it's really weird. But anyway, I wanted to let you guys know an update now that I'm out of my loopiness that I had. That was my very first medical procedure ever. I've never even broken a bone in my body. So that was my very first medical procedure, was a upper endoscopy. I think that's how you say it. My very first time with anesthetic, including gas. I've never had any gas like at a dentist or anything. So yeah, it was an experience. It is very difficult. It was difficult. My anxiety was through the roof. I have a fear of anesthesia. I have a fear of needles. It was not good at first. Once I went to sleep, and that was it. I woke up in the recovery room. They said I was sleeping for 35 minutes afterwards. So that's cool. That's cool that they actually let me sleep. But yeah, so we'll see what happens next. But yeah, it's a really weird experience. Like, you're giving up control of your own body. Doesn't matter if you fight it, doesn't matter at all. You completely lose control. And you don't even realize it. It's just all of a sudden you're conscious and you don't even feel yourself losing consciousness. It's just you're conscious, you're looking at everything, you see the doctor, done. Next thing you know, you're waking up in the recovery room looking at a clock on the wall. So thankfully that was my experience. Thankfully I don't wake up early or not wake up at all or anything like that. Thankfully that was my experience. So I am really happy about that. And I'll let you guys know whenever any new information comes out, whether I'm told about the biopsy first, whether he's going to wait until my appointment, which is November 11th, is my appointment to see him again, to talk about what he's seen here, what the biopsy is, talk about the Calprotectin, and try to make sense out of all of these bits of information that's coming in, and see where we go from here. It's very possible I may need a second trip through the anesthesia with colonoscopy. They say that he uses anesthesia for that too. So I mean, maybe you don't have to. I don't know. Whatever will not hurt me. Whichever hurts the least. You know. Anyway, yeah. So, well, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. It was expensive, though. It was freaking $600. And my savings is dropping very, very, very quickly. And I might actually have to force myself to somehow try to work in this pain as best I can until this is fixed. Because the way things are going, I'll probably only have about a month's worth left in my savings for bills, and then that'll be it. And if, like, worst case scenario, I need surgery, by the time recovery is over, my bank will be in the negative. Yeah, I have a Patreon. Yeah, I have Cash App in the description of all my videos, but that's not enough. I'm not a top tier YouTuber who can ask people to donate to this, donate to this, donate to this, which is really weird. I never understood that, why the more rich they are, the higher chance they get of getting donations, but the more poor they are, the less chance and the less donations they get. It never made sense to me. Like with celebrities and stuff, you always see a whole bunch of people in their lines ready to meet them, and then they give them a whole bunch of gifts. Not regular homemade gifts, but like they bought them stuff, hundreds of dollars worth of stuff that they give them, even though they're a rich celebrity. I don't get it. It makes no sense. If I'm in that position to where I can buy hundreds of dollars of gifts to give away to somebody I don't know, I would do that for an orphanage and then bring a bunch of gifts to the orphanage for Christmas. You know, it's something that actually makes sense. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.